Hello, bright, beautiful, glorious souls, divine beings. Thank you for joining me here on this weekly angelic energy update. So these weekly readings are super fun. They're super informative and helpful as well, because we call in all beings of love, of light. They have to be of a certain frequency to even join us in this space and be with us. And we're just going to ask for a little bit of guidance on the week ahead. With what energy is coming up, what are we getting drawn to release, what's going to be shifting, changing, alchemizing, what's going to be coming up for us to heal and to alchemize, right? Because for anyone that is even partially with one eyelid open awake will be feeling that, well, everyone's going to be feeling the energy, but for anyone that is kind of tuning into what's happening right now, this week coming starts with a new moon in Sagittarius, a solar eclipse. It's an incredibly powerful time. There's a lot of rebirth still happening. There's a lot of clearing of old debris, energetical debris. There's a fantastic video that I channeled through on the new moon, so do check that out. I'll see if I can link it in the description box below. And we had a wonderful, on Sunday the 13th, we had a wonderful transmission from the beautiful Magdalens, so the Mary Magdalene energy and that divine feminine energy, that divine feminine Christ light, to do a healing of the heart and the soul as well, and that was just phenomenal. So do be sure to check that out. I'll see if I can put the link for that in the description box as well. But we're looking at the week commencing the 14th, so that beautiful new moon solar eclipse, Monday the 14th, all the way through to Sunday the 20th of December, which, yes, that is right, that takes us right up to the winter solstice, right? So I may even get both videos for that. I get the video out for the week after very soon, because oh boy, that is going to be a biggie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the angels, what the guides, what the ascended beings are like want to bring forward about this coming week, so that we can best work with the energy, so that we're not really taken too much by surprise, so that we can actively work at being the witness in what's showing up, so that we can heal it and just aid our ascension, right? That's what it's all about. That's why, if you look at that, work through fears, that's exactly why we do these readings, right? We came to this planet to ascend. So let's see if we can make it easier on ourselves. So guys, what is coming through? How many cards do you want to draw? What story do you want to tell? Let's have a little look here. Thank you. Nothing is yet set in stone. Thank you so much. Ooh, time to give rather than take. A new romantic cycle begins. Should we do one more? And be bold and make the first move. Right, I've got 4 cards out on the table here. 4 cards, look at this. We've got a mutable moon, the cardinal moon, so we've got so many cards that are still wanting to jump out as well, you know. Surrender to the divine and fiery climax. Yep, that doesn't surprise me about this week. And look at the bigger picture, right? So I'm going to leave this turned over. Let's have a little look, you guys. Oh, what is coming through here? So this coming week, nothing is yet set in stone, absolutely. I mean, this new moons are all about new starts, new beginnings, but when it's paired with an eclipse, especially one as powerful as the solar eclipse is going to be, it's literally going to knock our socks off in a really incredible way, right? Everything that we've been clearing on for the past few weeks, specifically, especially in the eclipse portal, you know, we've got this new moon energy coming up right here, that Virgo and Libra energy. And I'm not sure whether these are cardinal or mutable signs. I'm actually not that up to speed on my knowledgeable astrology or anything like that, but I know that this is a common theme that's running through right now, which is kind of like, you know, there's a really important message about like there's a lot of wounding coming up about scarcity, or you may know that as whether you're going to have enough, right? Whether you know you will be able to, whether it's financially be able to pay the bills at the end of the month, you know, especially with it being Christmas, holidays, Yule, whatever it is that you celebrate, if you celebrate at all. But it's a very interesting time of year where, like, you know, people get very excited, right? But there's also kind of that melancholy that usually underlies it. But what they're actually saying here, they're really wanting you to choose, right? They're really wanting us to choose what it is that we want to embody, what it is that we want to live, what it is that we want to be, right? They're giving us a little bit of guidance here. in order to actually get that. But look at this, we're starting out with nothing is yet set in stone. So if you think that you've already chosen your timeline because you've been through Lionsgate, you've been through the 1111 portal, and you think that's it, no, not at all. We're constantly being given opportunities to rewrite, and really change and upgrade and ascend. Like, we are in a mystery schools right here, right now. We do not have to go to the centre of the Tour in Glastonbury, or we do not have to go to the base of the Nile in Egypt, or a mountain in the Himalayas to go through rites of the sepulchre anymore, right? We are in this mystery school already. So we're constantly being given that opportunity to die and be reborn, and die and be reborn, and die and be reborn, right? And that's a really beautiful thing, because there is only life and life, right? There is life when we're physically focused, which is usually, not all the time, but usually when we have karma to resolve, that keeps us heavy and grounded, right, in our body. Or there is life when you're not physically focused, right? So it's really interesting, because there is still all this emotion, this deep releasing emotion coming in from the weekend that we've just had, which, oh my gosh, that 12/12 portal, all that energy coming in, that energy coming in was very much about clearing the really subtle nuances. And that wasn't just feminine, although the feminine Christ light is rising. That's what this time is about right now. The feminine is going to lead the way with that divinity and sovereignty, but also the masculine energy was also having a bit of a rejiggle with his energy too, right? So little woundings and little kind of trigger points around authority and oppression and hierarchy and control through home or finances and stuff like that. They were kind of coming up, whatever we've believed on a cellular level, whatever karma, and karma is also another way of explaining phrasing cellular memory in my books anyway, and whatever cellular memory that we have. So there's been a lot of that shifting, and yet still we still have this really tumultuous tidal wave starting out the week, right? But then look at this, we've got new moon energy coming straight in, straight after, and this is the guidance that they're wanting to bring through, because we are in Sagittarius season, right? We're in Sagittarius season. We had Scorpio season, we thought that was deep and emotive then, and it was to a certain extent. This is the time that we're in right now is going even more subtly, right? We're going into even more of the depths than we went with Scorpio energy, right? And what they're wanting to guide us through just from the get-go here is, because we're all connected, and because this gateway is going to help more and more people rise to the 4th dimension and then to the 5th dimension, and some people are past that point, right? And once again, those dimensions, they're not like those dimensions are not it's not like an accreditation where you've got a certificate and you say, yep, okay, I'm 5D now, or I'm 6D now, or I'm 4D now, or whatever. It's access within you, right? It's access within oneself, which has been unlocked, right, for us to actually go into, and it's where we choose to stay more consistently. So what they're wanting everyone to know right now, because so many people are striving for this balance, this harmony, this unity consciousness, right? So many people are striving for that, but they don't necessarily fully understand what it means. And what it means is exactly why this Virgo card's coming out, because unity consciousness means seeing in every single one that you encounter, seeing them as the divine mirror that they are, right? So this week is really going to bring that forward and give you ample opportunities to bring new balance, right, and new understanding of how the world is balanced, how everything's neutral, right, guys? Like, everything's neutral in the world. There is nothing more positively focused or more negatively focused. We're creating all that by whatever our thought patterns are. So if you happen to find a £20 note, I'm in the UK, so I'm going to use pounds, but if you happen to find a £20 note on the floor, that's not massively different from losing £20 in the wash. Now, thankfully, those new notes can go through a washing machine, but that's not the point. The point is that the energy around that money is neutral, right? It's whether your thought pattern is taking it to drawing it to you, or letting it go away from you, right? And that's exactly why Virgo here, this new moon in Virgo card, is coming out, because it says that it's a time to give rather than to take, right? So if you're worried about finances, if you're worried about that, because that was a theme from last week, and it's likely still going to flow into this week, because that's going to be one of the last things to shift, right? It will be one of the last things to shift, because it hits on a basic human fear point, and that's, will I have something to eat? Will I have a house over my head? Will I be warm? All of that. That's what that hits on. So the reason why this interlinks with unity consciousness is because when we give, we are also receiving, right? Because we're giving to someone else who is then receiving. That's that mirroring. So if you are giving, you're clearing the pathway to receive. You're not only clearing the pathway to receive, you are receiving. That one act of giving means you are receiving at the same time. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, don't worry too much about it. Just go with it. Just go with it. But that advice right here, you know, they're saying don't worry too much about what might be, because there are so many timelines running parallel with each other. Anything could be. It's wherever it's wherever you're vibrating at, right? You know, and they really do want us to look at this bigger picture. This full moon in Sagittarius is coming up, but it's not specifically to say, hey, look at the big picture of this situation. It's saying, okay, can you draw yourself out and witness whatever is happening, whatever is going on, because you are going to receive many opportunities this week. I know I'm receiving a whole bunch of them personally, as well, and we all are, because we are all human, right? You know, and we are all receiving these opportunities to witness something, and to, instead of reacting to it and allowing a blueprint, an old programming to run, whether we actually want to bring it back into that neutral balance, and then we can tip the scales in the positive or the less positive way, depending on where we are vibrating at. So that's why they're saying, you know what the best advice is right now, because nothing is set in stone, because you've already worked on releasing stuff and bringing new things in with the new moon, with this solar eclipse, this new birth and new beginning, all of that. You know, just focus on what you can give, but giving from love, right? Not giving from obligation, not giving because you want to receive, giving without condition, right? Giving from love, and only love, right? Not because you are scarce of something, but because somewhere in your heart there is, you know, you genuinely want to offer your time or your energy, or there is something that you created for someone. You know, there's a massive lesson here in what it is to actually give, right, as well. Because if we start to give, and because we are in that giving season, as they call it, you know, if you are one that buys because you have a list of people's names and you have to get a gift for these people, and this person, this person, this person, and it's like, oh, what do I get them? I'll just get them that. That's not from love, that's from obligation, guys. And if that's what you're putting out there, that's exactly what you're receiving as well. That's where the scarcity comes in, that's where the lack comes in. Right? So they're highlighting this in this reading for you, because, or for us I should say, because this is where the balance comes in. This is where we start to see it differently, right? And then you'll know by the end of the week that, you know, if you want to change anything dramatically, that by looking at this, by receiving this message, guys, I've only got 4 cards out on the table here. I've not even brought out any clarifiers yet. I have 3 decks I'm working with. Gosh, they've got a lot to say right now. But they want to let you know that if you can really focus on giving from that place of unconditional love, not because of obligation, not because you've got a name on a list to check off in a box and a date before they have to get this gift, but if you're giving from love, right, then you really are starting a brand new cycle, a brand new balanced cycle in that neutral space again, right? And then you're creating in that neutral space, because you are the thing, the being of light that creates everything that is in your reality right now. You're creating that. So when we bring it into neutrality, that's when we can make a step forward in a bold, loving, divine and whole way, and really rewrite something different. So I want to get a few more cards here. Let's have a little look, see who is this deck of cards now. Okay, we're changing cards. That's okay. That's okay. There will be things that surprise you, like having a few decks of cards that you think you're going to work with, and then them saying, no, we're going to change the decks of cards. Which is fine. And of course I open the box and I have Isis here. Of course I do. Because we have that mother energy. Does anyone know that beautiful chant? That goddess chant? Look at that. Sana Kamara coming out. You know that the Isis Astarte Diana, Hecate Demeter Kali, Inanna. You know, all these different names of the goddess Isis, Sophia, the divine feminine, the beautiful mother, right? You know, no wonder she was on the bottom of the deck there. Who's helping us with this? Is there any specific messages from any of our beloved beings of light and ascended masters who wish to just, oh, guys, I'm getting too many crystals. Look at this, I can't fit my cards in. They say you only get one and then that's it, and no, you buy a load more. Because I love crystals so much. Okay, what messages do we have? Thank you, Joan of Arc. I was just reading about Joan of Arc. And we've got Lord Shiva. So we've got Voice of Truth, Transcendence coming in. Devotion. Are they twin flames, these guys? I'm not sure, I don't know. Paul the Venetian. Fascinating. Oh, and look at that holy amethyst on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, look at that, hey? Look at that. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So our voices, our throats are still having this massive upgrade happen, right, guys? This is why Joan of Arc is coming out here right now. We've got Archangel Michael colours coming in, that blue, that royal blue of the throat chakra. The throat is still having upgrades happen, and you'll find this more and more and more and more. You might start spouting light language. I only realised that the light language that that's been coming from within me for a long enough time. I only found out last week that it's Lemurian, and I was like, shut the front door, who'd have thought it? And you know, Lemurians all came from the stars anyway, as did we all, so it's also a star language. But it's fascinating because your throat's going to continue to receive these upgrades, right, this week as well. And it's not necessarily about using words to articulate how you feel. It's more about whatever is coming from that voice box within you is of integrity, of higher communication, is going to aid, because once again, if we're going to that unity consciousness frame of mind, we only want to be speaking words of loving thoughts, right? If we give power to our ego voice, that's not going to tip the scales the way we want them to go, right? So this is a major upgrade that's going to be coming through right now, and still is. I did a video actually on the throat chakra. I think it may have been like maybe 2 weeks ago, and what you can do to help that come through. So you might have a little bit of a frog in your throat, right? You know, this week as your throat continues to clear. But it's fascinating as well, because like Joan of Arc, you know, for her ascension, she ended up in her lifetime, she had to pretend, she had to cut her hair and pretend that she was to be a boy so that she could join, I think she was joining the army, forgive me if I'm kind of misconstruing this somewhere along the line, but it was helping the French win a battle with the English, I think it was. And Saint Michael, Archangel Michael, and I think it was Michael and Mary, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I think it was Michael and Mary that actually came through to her and say, you know, you can help this army win the battle. And that's what she did. She you know, she cut her hair, she pretended that she did what she needed to do to get the message across, and they won whatever it was in their time. Now obviously times are a little bit different, but they're also not at the same time, right? It's not that we're now doing things that we need to do, but what I love about this story is that the end of her physical incarnation, you know, she ascended through, but she ascended in this in fire, right? You know, she was burned at a stake, and that sounds awful and mortifying, of course, for many people. A lot of ascended masters like Yeshua, you know, nailed to a cross, didn't die because that was just another rite of the sepulchre. But the reason why these come through is because the mortal body, the physical body, is not the be all and end all, right? It's an outfit that we wear, and there is always a poetry to something that happens. There's always kind of a bigger message there. So I love that, you know, with the voice of truth here coming through, with that energy coming through, you know, there's all this fire around it right now. It's like clearing through with that violet flame, Saint Germain's violet flame, you know, etherical fire, burn it all up, because you want to burn up the lower energies, right? You want to burn that up and just let only higher communication come through. And once again, Lord Shiva is confirming this message of transcendence. You know, honor who you are. You are being given the steps right here. Give in the steps. This is what you need to do this week, you know, and just have fun, dance, right? You know, be happy, sing. And then Krishna coming in with devotion. Mary Magdalene's known for devotion as well, right? Coming in the 6th ray, Mary Magdalene used to be Yeshua, Jesus, and that's all about devotion, right? So we've got Krishna coming out here as well, which I absolutely adore, because this is very much about all the work that you've been doing. That they are all initiations for you. They are all opportunities to transcend, to rise up and to ascend any vibration, any blueprint, any karmic blueprints, any cellular memory, anything that you've built up over lifetimes, in order to do that, because of your devotion to the light, to the ascension. And it's taken us all the way through to the end of the week, right before this major shift over of light source from one light source to 7, right? From 1 sun to 7 suns. You know, and then that's going to bring through so much. Like when you are bold and when you're ready to say, right, okay, I am living in my authentic truth. And that's not just by talking, literally. People that live in their authentic truth are not out there going, I am this and I am that. People know them for that because they are, not because they say they are. And that's why, and this is why I feel we've got Paul Venetian coming through here with experiencing grace, because, you know, you're going to have so much inspiration coming through, creativeness coming through, right, to help you move forward. There is so much abundance and prosperity and love and divine light and just everything coming through for after the winter solstice, that you are literally going to be given everything that you need. You just need to tune in and listen. So this week is going to be the perfect kind of roundup week for all the past few weeks we've had, for the past few months we've had, where it's just been getting heavier and heavier and like more intense and more intense as we process things, right? So really, really fun. And just holy, not just, but holy amethyst is coming out here. You know, twin flame of Archangel Zadkiel, right? With that beautiful violet flame, that transmutation energy, you know, coming out, just letting you know, with grace as well, right? Once again, we've got grace coming in here, right? That's that female energy. Grace is that female energy of love and compassion and, you know, not holding something, right? You know, moving beyond whatever it is. So, you know, she's governing this whole week here. You know, just saying, you know, we know, like the angels know what is in your heart. Your soul monad knows, your higher self knows what it is that you want, what you've always wanted, right? You just have to do the work now. And you've got these awesome people here coming in going, we've got your back. We've been there before. Believe me, we've had it rough as well. We've had it rough too. But look at where we are right now. On Alice's table. Gotta have some humor in the world, right? But no, seriously, look at where they're at right now. Their energy, they're like, they are ascended beings, right? Because they did what they knew they were to do, and they followed that inner divine voice, not the voice of the ego and the blueprint, right? The ego and the blueprint only sees things from your perspective, but the voice of the higher self sees yourself in the other person and has compassion, right? They see the bigger picture. Okay, so let's bring forth some guidance. I know this is a little bit of a longer reading than usual, but you know what, guys? That's absolutely fine because of the week it is. It's a really big week, so I hope you guys are sticking with me till the end, because this is where the best guidance usually comes out. This all helps understand everything what's going on and bring a little bit more depth to it. But now we're going to find some anything extra that they want to bring forward, anything tangible, anything else that we've not yet seen. Thank you so much. Yeah, boundaries, caution, absolutely. Nettles, mugwort, rite of passage. Autumn, baby. Yeah, abundance, preparation, harvest. Which one? That one? No, that one. That one. Thank you. Lessons, yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so they want both of those cards showing. That's fine. I know. Okay. They get a little bit funny sometimes, and they will literally just not let the cards stay on top. I will turn this card over in a sec. They wanted to bring out an extra card, which is absolutely fine. So beautiful, friends. We have Nettle coming out here. So boundaries, caution. So just be aware of who you're spending time with, what you're putting energy into. Social media, is it helping? Is it benefiting you, your mission, your light, your joy? Who are you spending time with? Are you having enough time on your own? Are you getting that balance where you're able to actually hear your inner voice, where you're able to sit still and be with you, be with your guides and your guardian angels and your overarching angel, you know? And everyone else that's around you, because you are surrounded by so many beings of light. It's unreal. It's like, if you knew how many people were around you, you'd be like, wow, this room that I'm in is so full, right? We've got mugwort coming through here, rite of passage plant here, which is perfectly in fitting for everything that's happening here. You are in a rite of passage. If we continue to ignore what is coming up, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If you continue to ignore it, it's fine. It's not your time yet to maybe unfold that. But for the majority of the world, for a massive portion of the world, it will be, right? So try to just be a witness and try to give, try to be generous and loving and fine, and give to yourself, right? Give yourself that time, that space, because this is preparation time, right? It really, really is. This is preparation time. We've got so much abundance, like we said before, coming in. You've got so much for yourself to harvest, but you just have to, this is like the last turning of the soil. This is like the last watering of the crop before you go and collect everything, before you collect the bounty there, right? You know, so there will be lessons coming up this week. There will be, right? But what's really incredible is like this card, it feels very much like it's the completion, right? It's like you've been studying at school for however long, and now you've just had your test and you know that you aced it. That's what energy I'm feeling from this card right here. It doesn't feel like you're starting a lesson. It feels like you are literally culminating, closing off what it is that you've been learning for however long. Guys, you know, it was so funny because I literally had a oh gosh, I had this beautiful Lemurian healing the other day, and Arcturian attunement, so there was a lot of like very powerful energy coming in, and for whatever reason that kind of aligned how it did, so those were both available to me in a very close space of time. I'm not saying that everyone should go and do that or anything like that, but you know, if you're drawn, absolutely. If you're not, whatever. But the reason why I'm sharing that is because that was the perfect time for me to actually understand a lesson I've literally spent probably not only this lifetime worrying about but also probably many other lifetimes as well. And it was so funny because I was literally taken to a past life memory from the healing that I had. I was like, my higher self and my guides around me after the healing had finished, then literally took me to this past life, and then I finally got it. I finally saw what I was needing to heal and let go of, and it wasn't accessible before. So it's like you've kind of got to, you're putting the jigsaw pieces in the puzzle, and it's like that last piece falling into place. That's what this week is going to be for a lot of people, if you just go with the flow of it all, right? You know, we've got this void of creation coming in here. They're reminding us to ground and shield our energies, right? But especially ground. You know, our souls, if you're watching this, they're probably not from this planet, but your body is, right? So you do need to stay grounded to this planet, because she is ascending and you are part of her. It's not you ascending, it's the whole planet. That's everything that is made up of her. You, the ants, the elephants, the trees, the bees, everything, right? We're all ascending. So she's just coming in to remind us to ground into her as well, because she is ascending so beautifully and purging what she no longer needs, and you're feeling that because you're made up of her, right? I feel water as well coming in. One of my dear mentors was talking about water last night and how incredible it is, and how you can really charge water, a glass of water, with your intention, and it really is wonderful. So do a little bit of water magic, right? You know, talk blessings into your water before you drink it. But yeah, and just know that this is literally, this whole week is very much about your divine blueprint, your path, and it's all unfolding just as it's meant to be. You don't need any more reaffirming, you don't need any more like searching. It's all coming from within you, guys. You don't need anyone else to tell you. It's all coming from within you. Just stop and listen. Okay. Whew. That was a really big reading. If anyone who, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for jumping to the end as well, or being here till the end. If you're not yet on the Facebook page Ascension to Love with Alice, that's Ascension to Love with Alice, do check it out, because I just launched an offer from the 12/12 portal to the 21st of the 12th, where I put all my angelic guidance on half price, to give back a little bit, and I did a really awesome reduction on Akashic healing sessions to really get in, or anchor removals to really get in deep and clear what, you know, what is just meant to be cleared right now. If you're guided to do that, then maybe if you're guided to do that or inquire, just send me a message, send me an email. My email's in the box below. Because, you know, sometimes you need someone to hold the space, and sometimes you can do it yourself, right? But if you're going through the week and you're feeling like you do need that little bit of extra support, then maybe you do need someone to facilitate that and just to help you connect the pieces, because once again, we are all connected, right? That's how it all works. We help each other in this process. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful friends, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much. So many blessings, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Bye for now.